Ivan, stop. We have an elephant in the room, we have to address it.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. We have this brand new Yukon Denali. It's got less than 1,000 miles on it. It needs a coating, but it needs to be washed first. And it's big, it's really big. So how do you tackle a big vehicle? That's what we're doing today.
Incredible Suds in the foam cannon, 1 ounce per 32 ounce container of water. We have Incredible Suds in our bucket, and we have a lot to teach them.
Right, and we're gonna start by foaming the vehicle down. Nick, if you can put some all clean on those wheels and tires. The dealership, unfortunately, shall we say, dressed them up. And the dressing that they use isn't exactly friendly to the wheels or to the paint or anything else. It's a bit greasy, so we'll get rid of that for you.
Why would I use all clean in a foamer, Ivan, like this versus just ready to use in our 16 ounce bottles?
The foam is more activated and the foam does a better job. And Nick, looking at the foam that you've got there, that's telling me that your sprayer doesn't have enough pressure in it.
So it needs more PSI,
Yeah.
more pressure. I could get away with one more wheel, but I'm gonna need to do that before this job is done. So I'll inflate that right now.
So the IK foamer only had 15 PSI in it, and it's supposed to work between 45 and 60.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now, is there an art, Ivan, to foaming and then rinsing and like? Tell me what the purpose of the Incredible Suds on the paint is here. Car wash basics.
Yeah, what we're doing is putting the foam on the vehicle, allowing it to sit, allowing it to dwell, and it's taking that grit off the surface. Now this one only has 1,000 miles, not much grit on it, but there's still a bit of grit. We're taking that off.
Well, Ivan, I can see that greasy tire dressing on these wheels, on these
Yes.
tires. That's what I was focusing on, is really getting a lot of that all clean onto the surface. You see how it's just dripping off though? It's almost like an oily coating on there.
Yeah, it is oily.
So that's what we want to address.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm in direct sunlight, if I have really hard water, and I have a vehicle this big, I'm probably gonna rinseless wash it section by section.
Yes.
But if you have the benefit of a water softener or a garage setting where you have a drain,
Yep.
Incredible Suds is so much fun.
Right.
Now, Ivan, a real detailer climbs up on a wheel to get to everywhere, right?
No.
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 All right, we
See-
teach the platform, we teach the ladders. Tell me why.
Safety, and you can do a better job. If I'm trying to hold onto the vehicle, climbing up on it, I only have one hand free. Now I have two hands free, one to control the hose, one to control the pressure washer. I've owned cars with less surface area than this roof.
This thing is a beast.
Next up, we've let the Incredible Suds dwell. We've let it do its thing. Time to rinse away. These tires are still a greasy mess. So we're going to be putting on a little more all clean here.
How can you tell they're a greasy mess? I can tell, you're saying it, but again, what should we look for?
It looks like they have grease and water and oil on them. Just the way the water is sitting on it, it looks greasy. Now the top, because it has these rails, makes it easy to rinse front to back, keeping the soap within the rails. Foam, rinse, foam. We've foamed, we've rinsed. Let's foam again.
I think it's important that we show how big vehicles are washed, Ivan, not just small little sports cars,
Yep.
not just convertibles, but big boys and big girls. To me, this is the perfect time to get your vehicle ceramic coated. Sometime in the 1 day to 1 month time frame, or 0 to 1,000 miles. Basically, just get it done early, right, Ivan? Just get
Yeah.
this thing protected, build the foundation with a strong base.
Exactly. And in this case, it's 1 week, so even better. But 1 day would be perfect. Straight from the dealership, that's the way to do it. Nick, are you still using a mid over there?
I'm cleaning the wheels, Ivan.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm freaking people out at the moment because I'm using a brush on paint. This is our new brush that we've designed specifically for this. Now, we've had our wheel and body brush for a number of years now, and the wheel and body brush was designed specifically to be soft and to be able to clean paint safely and easily. So with this new brush, we have the same bristle technology, and we've actually made it a little softer because we know we're not going to be cleaning wheels with it. It's a bi-level design and super easy, fits in the bucket, unlike truck wash brushes that don't normally fit inside of buckets. Now this is a new vehicle, and I know you guys are freaking out because you've heard, never use a brush on paint. Never use any brush on paint, but some brushes are actually designed for this, and this one is. So let me go on a 45-degree angle on this door. And when we're done here with the washing and decontaminating, we'll take a look at this door with an inspection light to see if there's 45-degree scratches here. And I'm going over it more than once. Normally you wouldn't do that. One thing that's important to note, with the foam rinse foam, we've taken all the grit off the surface. And this brush holds a lot of liquid. So I can reach quite easily across the hood of this little truck.
Just a tiny little smart car.
Yeah, I've owned a smart car. It would probably fit in the back seat of this thing. And the brush, just like our wheel and body brush, great for doing the grill, around the emblems, all that fun stuff.
Oh, you're freaking me out, Ivan, doing this.
Yep. You know, people work in maxims, work in absolutes, because you can never use a brush on paint. There are some brushes you can use. How many times have we been told, Nick, you can't use a sponge on paint? The Legacy sponge is extremely safe.
Yeah, it's our rinseless wash design sponge. Great for a different type of wash. Although you can use it with Incredible Suds as well.
Yeah.
Incredible Suds likes all wash media, it seems.
Yeah.
I was gonna do the uppers, and I'm like, no, I think we're gonna let Ivan's new toy do the washing.
Of course, it's a lot easier.
We're sick of the ladder. We're sick of the platform.
I still need the ladder to get up there, Nick.
I know, but
I've got a slightly better reach.
this vehicle is starting to wear me down, just its sheer size, Ivan.
That's a mental issue, Nick.
All right.
It's just paint, it's just a vehicle. It's just a little bigger than average.
How often do you redunk the large vehicle apparatus, the LVA?
Yeah, same as any other wash media after every section.
And you know, microfiber has a great job of cleaning but picking up everything. The brush is different, right? Can you explain
Right.
the difference in what might freak people out and why a brush is safe?
Right, so microfiber is designed to hold on to dirt, whereas a brush carries the liquid, it takes the dirt off the surface, but as soon as we put it in the wash bucket, the flag tip nylon bristles that we have release it. It's super soft. It's softer than any microfiber has ever been. Microfiber is actually more aggressive than this. So if you have a microfiber wash mitt, you should be more afraid of that than of this.
Any technique adjustments with this?
Yeah, I'm not reaching over the vehicle.
And do you have to have a beast of a vehicle to use this, or could this replace everything for you?
You could almost replace everything. Not necessarily. On a car, I'd still use the sponge. But when you have a larger vehicle like this, it makes your life so much easier. There are areas I couldn't get in with a brush, like behind this mirror, but if I move the mirror out of the way, I can still get the backside of it.
I'm still freaked out, but also amazed. I know it's safe, it just seems so unsafe.
It's not
Based on
unsafe.
my conditioning, Ivan.
Right, it's conditioning. It's what you've been told. We do something here that a lot of companies don't do, Nick, and that's research and development.
You mean we're not just following what everyone else is doing?
No. We actually test things, and we test them a lot. And we test them in different environments. We test them with different testers.
This seems to be so much faster than washing by hand, Ivan. And more ergonomic, you don't have to bend down.
Right. There are advantages to a good brush. And I've also learned a lot about brushes because to me, they're an interesting technology and people assume that all brushes are created equal. They're not all created equal.
Now, can we decontaminate on a stick too?
No, that unfortunately we can't do yet. When you're done, rinse out the brush. Don't set it on the ground. Hang it up somewhere. Even if you want to, put a microfiber towel over it. That way you're not getting dust and dirt on the brush. Not all brushes are the same. Some of these are designed for trucks, and if you feel them, they're a lot stiffer. You can actually hear this one. Now this is the one we use on our bus because we have a bed liner paint. So it's designed for this. A lot of people think this is the brush. When they think brush, this is what they think. This isn't the brush you want. It's still flag tipped, but notice the flag tips are very short. If you look at our brush, we've had the flag designed 3/4 of an inch long. So the split ends or the flag tips are 3/4 of an inch long. This one, they're barely 1/4 of an inch. Now, our green brush that you've seen before. This is the same material as our green body brush, but I wanted something a little softer. That's where this one comes in. This is actually softer than our wheel and body brush. And this one is a little too wide. That's one of the things we worked on the width. You'll see the size here. This, when we try to put it in a bucket, it just barely fits when you have the grit guards in there. So, not a good idea there. And then that one, well, looks like a broom and has a nice soft bristle, but again, very short on the flag. And we tried different bristles. We tried different bristle shapes, different brush shapes. And this one, yes, it has the rubber edge around it, which is nice, but it's a single level. It has a bi-level, but not as much. So this is the design we ended up with. R&D working for you.
So this top area is lighter than the bottom area. You say flag tip, folks may have no idea what you're talking about.
Think of split ends with hair. That's exactly what it is. So we take a solid bristle, it gets acid dipped, and when it gets dipped in the acid, it splits apart.
And that makes it more safe at the end?
That makes it a lot softer, and it allows it to hold the lubrication from there, but also, just like our rinseless wash buns, as soon as you touch it to the bucket, it's dropping all that dirt.
Would you say this is a brush you could use on any paint?
Yes, 100%.
Is it more or less fun than a sponge or a wash mitt?
About the same. It's just what works for you, what needs do you have? And we've been asked for a long time to have a sponge on a stick because there's all sorts of things. You can buy them on Amazon. There's some really good ones out there as well that have a chenille microfiber that's on a stick to allow you to reach the roof, things like that. They're fun. But the sponge on a stick, we always say one thing with our wash sponge, and that is on the verge of dripping. Squeezing the sponge out is not an easy thing to do when it's on a stick. So for that, then we started looking elsewhere. That elsewhere became this brush.
Here we are, Ivan.
Yep. And time to decontaminate the elephant. It's a brand new vehicle. Why does it need to be decontaminated? Well, it's been on the road. It's been on a truck. It might have been on a train. It may have sat at the railhead. It could have sat anywhere. We don't know how long it's been around. We checked the manufacturing date. This is a 3-month-old truck that was delivered last week. So for 3 months, it sat somewhere collecting contamination. As always, one spray of iron remover on the panel, one on the towel. We match them up and off we go. No pressure whatsoever on the towel. That's very important. We'll glide it over the surface, picking up any contamination and possibility of iron. Now, we mentioned this sat. It might have been transported by train. One way to know if your vehicle has been transported by train is not the sides, but the upper surfaces. Let me spray on some iron remover here. By the time I get here, if it's red, then we know this probably sat in a rail yard for a little while. How's your side feeling, Nick?
Really good, really smooth. If you told me it had been protected with something, I would have thought, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you make of how smooth and nice it feels under my towel, other than it's brand new?
That's pretty much it.
Or that is the story here. It's brand new paint. I'm not used to touching brand new paint, Ivan. There's usually something to contend with.
Yeah. The idea is we're using iron remover as a lubricant, but we're also using the towel as an iron remover vehicle, or spreading the iron remover using the towel.
After I get 4 panels, I'm redunking my towel in my bucket of incredible suds.
Yep. Folding it to a fresh side and carrying on.
Ivan, the age-old question, no one's gonna see the roof. Can I just ignore it or do a half blank job?
You definitely want to do the roof. It's probably the biggest piece of real estate on this vehicle, and it's also where vehicles fail first because of the sun. And you can tell a vehicle that has been taken care of because it won't fail as quickly on the roof. So this was sprayed a little while ago. Let's take a look. We see the odd little red tracer. This to me indicates that it didn't sit in a rail yard. There are vehicles that I've seen that sat in a rail yard. They looked fine, you sprayed this on and they just lit up like a Christmas tree. There was so much iron on them. So this was probably trucked instead of trained.
Very important to decontaminate glass, Ivan. This is where you might find the odd bug gut.
Yep.
Your wash mitt or your brush didn't quite get to, and the towel just plucks it from the glass.
Yep.
That's the one time I'll use my towel fairly often, is I'll keep it in my bucket and just save it for the windshield for my weekly washes.
Yeah.
'Cause I like using this towel. If you've got it, you might like using it too.
Yeah, and it's not abrasive, so you're not worried about removing a glass coating if you have one.
Well, that's a good question though. Does this decontamination towel mean I have to polish after?
No. If you use it as we instruct, with proper lubrication, you're not going to have to polish afterwards.
Speaking of proper lubrication, I had run out on this hood, so I am going to leverage my wash mitt, get some incredible suds back on the surface. Stay lubricated, folks. That is the principle that I think is up there in terms of most important principles in detailing, is lubrication is your friend on exterior surfaces. We even teach to polish with a slightly damp pad, right? I mean,
right.
we like to encourage. What do you want to say about lubrication?
Lubrication is 100% necessary, and pressure is 100% not necessary. Pressure is your enemy, lubrication is your friend. One spray on the panel, one spray on the towel, match them up, and let's get this roof done.
Ivan, surely we must be done after this.
Almost. We have to rinse, and then one more decontamination step, a very important one that a lot of people miss. We're going to start with the roof, work my way down. I'm gonna rinse the roof front to back. Nick, if I could grab the water spot remover from you.
Absolutely.
While I'm up here, I might as well spray it down.
Water spot remover, I actually really think it's a fun step. I know not everyone might agree. That might mean I'm a twisted detailer. What are you doing with the water spot remover and why?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm spraying it on the surface, and you notice I have it on a stream. That's because I wanted to reach on the other side, and then now on this side, I'll tighten it back up again and use our traditional mist. Then we're gonna be spreading it with a towel that's dampened, in this case with incredible suds. So now that I've got the top done, I can move off the ladder, rinse the rest of the vehicle, and we can add the water spot remover to the rest.
So Ivan, water spot remover, very simple. As I mentioned, I really love this stage. I don't know why, maybe it's I just love spraying lots of product, and this is the one time I can do that without feeling like you're gonna either silently or vocally tell me, that's too much, Nick.
Yeah, and he is spraying a little too much because we're gonna be spreading it with a towel, so you don't need to cover the whole surface.
I'm just so used to covering the whole surface with this product because I don't usually use the towel method at home, Ivan.
Yeah.
But that's more for my routine washes, where I just want to get this on the paint, you know, neutralize some of the ice melt and the minerals that are caked into the clear coat, and then I flush it down. But if you're doing this before polishing, we are gonna agitate it in, so yeah, too much product.
Yeah, and you want a damp towel, not a wet towel. So the goal is to wring the towel out till it's almost dry.
Are there ever times you want a wet towel, or is this damp towel method great for interiors, great for polish removal? I feel like you always do the super wrung out short nap towel.
Yeah, because more moisture just means you're pushing moisture around.
So Ivan, I've got my Incredible Suds wet towel. You've got your damp towel.
Yeah.
You're always saying wring it all the way out, and I'm always doing more product. Let's do an explanation, maybe a demo of what's happening here.
Well, with that towel, you're gonna be flushing the water spot remover off the surface. For me, I'm distributing the water spot remover on the surface.
This looks dirty, it's just a stain towel, it's clean.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's way too wet. So you're not gonna be moving it around, you're gonna be flushing it off the surface, not what we want to be doing. We want to distribute it.
Yeah, because I'll end up doing one of these and then I'll just run it all off, right?
Yeah.
And there goes my dwell time. And I do want to leverage the dwell time, don't I, in this process?
There goes your dwell time, there goes your efficiency.
Got it.
And you're moving a heavy towel around. It's much easier to move a light towel around.
You might think Ivan's overdoing it with all his efficiency talk. This stuff adds up over the course of a detail, doesn't it, Ivan?
It sure does.
And then over the course of a career, a body doesn't, you know.
Well, not only that, the chemicals are designed to work a certain way. By not using them the way they're designed to be used, you're not going to get the results you're wanting. This way, we're getting the best results with the least amount of effort.
I've spent enough time in the garage with you detailing to trust the process these days.
Yeah, and don't flip the towel. That's another thing. It's muscle memory for detailers to flip the towel. This is one time where you have to fight that urge. Because what we're doing is we're spreading the product. We've washed, we've decontaminated, we've done all sorts of things to this. It is clean. I'm not worried about picking up dirt off the surface. There's no dirt to be picked up anymore.
And that's thanks to the system, right?
Right.
The way that we've designed this to foam, rinse, foam, iron and decon, rinse, water spot remover, rinse. Well, we haven't rinsed yet, but
Yeah.
in my head, we've already rinsed about 80 times. But I know we got clean paint we're working on, saved for those minerals that we're trying to annihilate with this final step. You know, before mineral cleanse, before water spot remover, it's my understanding there was an old school method involving what? Acid, Ivan?
Yeah, using wheel acid.
Which I guess works, but is certainly not something I want to be breathing in. Not great for the environment either.
And not great for the vehicle. They're a little strong. The plastics and all of that stuff sort of suffer from wheel acid. And if you get it on the glass, you might etch the glass. We're not worried about the windows. It's not going to etch the windows. It's just going to clean them. You know, the main ingredient in our water spot remover is lactic acid. So it's not a dangerous acid. Now it is an acid, you have to be careful, but at the same time, it's not like using a hydrofluoric acid.
Whether you're washing the vehicle or doing our mineral cleanse, wear gloves. Always a great idea. I'm a big fan of gloves, Ivan.
Yep.
And we wear the red ones as kind of an emphasis, not because these are the best. Folks often ask us, hey, where can I get those red gloves? You don't need the red gloves, do you, Ivan?
No. Now, they go with the shoes, they go with everything else, but you don't need the red gloves.
You might have noticed Ivan and I like to match here in the studio. We're team DIY.
But these
Have a
red
little
gloves
fun.
are pretty good, though.
What's that?
These red gloves are pretty good.
No, they are, right? Okay, if folks want the red gloves, where can they find them, Ivan?
Amazon. We'll have a link in the description.
Only thing is, don't you have to buy them like 1,000 at a time?
Yeah, they don't sell a 100-pack of them, they just sell a 1,000-pack. Because let's say red gloves are not the most popular.
So if you're a professional and you really do this every day, yeah, 1,000 gloves. If you're like me, you're looking for 100 at a time. There's plenty of good options out there.
Oh, 100%.
I like the ribbed or the nibs.
Yeah.
For interior detailing, it's kind of one of my tricks is they're great on dog hair. And I'll find that some of them, if you work the carpet too much with your glove, they can rip open, so it's a quality issue. But the one with the nibs tend to dig into the fibers of the carpet, and they can really work on dog hair, depending on the situation. But I digress, Ivan.
One thing I want to point out, I missed a little section here. You can see that I missed it. Now it's done. The whole side is done. Let me show you how much liquid I picked up in my towel. You remember I wrung it out as much as I could before? Let me wring it out again. So that was the standing water on the surface, plus a little bit of the water spot remover. We don't want to put this back in our wash bucket. It is slightly acidic. Rinse it off and put it in a separate bucket, or rinse it off, let it dry, and then launder it with your other towels without any issues. The final rinse is here. Off we go. If you're wondering about the wheels, we did them off camera. They're brand new wheels. You've seen us wash wheels 1,000 times before. We just saved you a bit of time. They're clean, don't worry.
Having once owned a Tundra and not realized how much work would be involved in the actual washing of it, I know what it's like to own a big vehicle, and it can be tempting to want to take this through what we affectionately call the scratch pass, right?
Yep.
If you're watching this video, you probably enjoy washing your car at home, or maybe you're wanting to learn more about it. Here's the thing. This can be washed so quickly with a rinseless wash. Once we have fully ceramic coated this, that's the exciting part, is you put in a lot of work on the front end, and the maintenance washes on this, Ivan, should not take that long.
No, the maintenance washes will be really easy because of the ceramic coating. Ceramic coating has a lot of advantages. Making your car easier to clean is one of the biggest ones.
So you've been doing this for 40 plus years.
Yep.
Is there anything that we're holding back from them, or have we pretty much given them all the wisdom on how to do a professional grade car wash at home?
We're doing our best to give you all the information we have. There's no point in holding anything back, first of all, and education is one of our tenets here. It's one of the things we want to do.
So there's no secret sauce that when the camera's off, we have some other professional trick. No. This is it, guys. You've got all the tools at your disposal. So you can find our products, right? They're linked in the description below. They're tagged on this video. It's just a matter of following this process.
Yep. Now, speaking of which, we have our drying blanket. It's already dried a couple cars today. I'm pretty sure it's actually going to be able to do this big Yukon as well. So drying, very easy. Drying blanket glides over the surface. Now you want to make sure that the drying blanket doesn't touch the ground, nor the wheels and tires, just to be safe.
A lot of folks are used to using a drying aid, Ivan.
Right. Today we're not using a drying aid because we're going to be ceramic coating this. And we don't want any sealants or waxes or drying aids to interfere with the coating.
Anything they should know if they're not using a lubricant for the drying process? Are they going to mess the paint up?
There's a small risk, and that risk is mitigated by not using pressure, by using a good quality, clean towel.
Depending on when this video comes out, our drying blanket may or may not be sold out on the website. It's an excellent towel, Ivan, and it often does sell out. We've ordered a lot more, but if it's not available, we have an excellent option. It's the Diva drying towel from our friends at the House of Rags.
Yes.
So if you're like, I'm the kind of person who wants start to finish, you give me this solution, you show me in the video, I'm gonna go buy it because I believe in the messenger, and then I don't have the towel you're using, not to freak out, folks. The drying blanket is great, but the Diva will also do a very safe and thorough drying process for you.
Now, thankfully, the dealership did not take this through their beautiful little car wash. Doesn't seem to be a scratch on the surface. Now, remember, I washed this whole side with a brush, and I purposely went on a 45-degree angle here. Let's check out with the inspection light. Do you see any 45-degree angle scratches? I don't. The brush is safe on paint. A lot of people don't realize that, but not every brush is made the same.
Speaking of next steps, Ivan, I believe we have a ceramic coating to do. Depending on when this video comes out, that video will be here. If it's not, we'll put another ceramic coating tutorial here. The basic idea of how to ceramic coat your ride, go check that out.